Hello, everyone out there in YouTube land. Welcome back to Diego Knows. I, of course, am Diego. And today we're going to continue to talk about Till There Was You. That's right, Till There Was You, that lovely, lovely rom-com from 1997. It's that rom-com that you never watched. You never saw it. Okay, it didn't make any money. Nobody saw it, actually. Excuse me. It flopped at the box office. It didn't help anyone's career at all. It wasn't very well liked. It broke no records. There was no real movie stars in it to say. And the only reason I love the movie is because I was very lonely at the time when I went to go see it. I was a young man in my early 20s. I was in the Marines. 99.9% men around. I had no money. I had no car. I couldn't do anything. So I walked around the base and I went to the base theater to watch movies for free. Okay, and I had no say over what movies they were going to show there. You know, if it was a semi-new release, I watched it there. I watched a lot of movies that way. And I did watch a lot of rom-coms because that's what they were showing there. That's how I saw, like, My Best Friend's Wedding and Good Will Hunting and Hope Floats, you know, and just shit like that. You know, Payback with Mel Gibson. I saw all that shit there at the base theater. Okay, and this was one of the movies I saw. And I actually loved this movie. I enjoyed it. I thought it was very cute. I love the music. I love the acting in there. I love the performances. I like the story. You know, the parallels between a man growing up, you know, and then meeting the girl that he's meant to be with, and a woman growing up and meeting the man she's meant to be with. All that stuff was cute and romantic and shit, and I liked it a lot. Now, usually I don't like chick flicks. I really don't, okay? I think they're pretty much stupid and overblown, but I liked this one a lot. I really loved this one a lot. I bought it on DVD when it came out. I showed it to girls that I was dating, and for some crazy reason, they never heard of this movie. Most women have never heard of this movie. You probably never heard of this movie, okay? Maybe you know some of the actors in it, but I guarantee you that most of you out there did not even see this movie, okay? Well, I saw the movie, so I'm gonna fucking review it, okay? This is part of my subcategory, which is called Chick Flick Praise. Okay, this is where I actually review chick flicks that I actually liked. Now, what I do on this channel is I review most chick flicks that are pieces of shit. Okay, your favorites, Pretty Woman, League of Their Own, Thelma and Louise, okay, all these fucking bullshit ass chick flick movies, Breakfast at Tiffany's, yeah, that one too, The Notebook, all that kind of crap that's out there that I've seen, and I think is bullshit. You women apparently like it a lot. Those movies made a lot of money, they have a lot of fans. Okay, well, I rip apart those movies. I give you a straight man's point of view. That's the point of view you didn't get when you were watching this shit at your slumber parties with your girlfriends and your gay friends, drinking your fucking Cosmos and waiting for the next fucking episode of Sex and the City to come out. Get the fuck out. I reviewed that piece of shit too, all right? Now, I like Sex and the City, but we ain't talking about that. Okay, but the new Sex and the City, yeah, I reviewed that already. That's on here. Okay, and the new season's coming out this summer, and I'm gonna review that too when it comes out, all right? Because I know that's the ones you all really want to watch, okay? But there's no new episodes right now, so I'm just going to go back in time and review all the old shit. Now, my goal here was to review this movie because I actually love this movie. Like I said, I own it on DVD. I watch it all the time. Not all the time, but every 2 years or so, I'll pop it back in the DVD player, and I'll watch it again because I thought it was cute. And usually when I'm dating a new girl, I always play that movie for her, you know, because she's never seen it. Well, now that I'm older and wiser and I have more experience, you know, I've been around the block a little bit more, so to say. You know, you would think that maybe, you know, I would review this movie to give you some praise, to talk about a great chick flick movie for a change. Well, I can't really do that because I still love this movie because I have an emotional attachment to it. It's that time in my life when I was watching it and the girls that I knew and all that kind of stuff, you know. But realistically, you know, this movie's a piece of shit. It really is. It's not very good. It's not very good. What was I thinking? Well, I was a young, lonely guy. That's what I was thinking, okay? And any young, lonely guy would have fallen in love with any fucking piece of shit rom-com that came out there at that time, okay? And I'm no exception to the rule, okay? Now that I watched this movie and I can look at it from a more adult point of view, there's a lot of failings. This movie has failed on so many fucking levels. It's not a mystery why this movie did not succeed at the box office, why it didn't help anyone's career, okay? Why most of you never even heard of it, okay? Much less watch it. Okay, because it wasn't very good. It really wasn't, okay? There's still some things about it that are good. It's not completely waste. I've seen a lot worse rom-coms than this, okay? But this movie has a lot of failings, a lot of shortcomings, okay? And a lot of stuff that just fucking pisses me off. That's a staple of rom-coms that today in 2023, these cliches have actually gotten worse. They've actually gotten worse, okay? And I'm gonna point that out here in this review, okay? I'm gonna break apart this entire fucking movie, because that's what I do, okay? I gave you a straight man's point of view, okay? The real question is, can you handle it? Can you handle the truth? Because I don't think you can. don't think you can. All right. So let us continue into Till There Was You here, okay? All right, now where we left off last time, okay, we've got this restaurant called the Awful Truth. Yeah, that's the name of the fucking restaurant. It's a death trap in there. There's jagged edges. Everything's made of metal. It's all gray and rocky and stuff. And you know, it's a death trap waiting to happen. There's holes in the floor. The stairwell's uneven. They got those big fucking LED lights shining in your face at the maitre d' stand. You know, it's just, you know, there's jagged edges on the tables when you sit down. It looks very uncomfortable, very stupid. Okay, no restaurant in real life would ever look like this. But a lot of scenes in this movie take place in this restaurant. Okay, now the two leads here, we've got Nick Dawkins, played by Dylan McDermott. He's an architect and a ladies' man. He's a playa. He lies to women about his past. You know, he lies to women about everything. He cheats on his girlfriends. He likes to fuck a lot of women. He does not get emotionally invested with any of them. Okay, because he grew up poor. Okay, he grew up with an alcoholic, out-of-work dad and a mom who worked herself to death as a waitress. Okay, he's ashamed of his past. So now that he's a successful architect, he just bullshits about his past. He doesn't really talk about his past or his family. He makes up lies that his dad died in a plane crash. His mom put him in boarding school. All this kind of bullshit. Okay, so all the women that he dates and fucks, they all want more from him than he's willing to give. They all want like him to be more emotionally invested in the relationship, to talk about his feelings, you know, to ask her how she's doing, you know, to fucking, you know, tell her she's beautiful all the time, you know, to listen to her story, you know, and all this kind of fucking shit, you know, which he just cannot be bothered with, okay? And yes, it's true, okay? Guys, for those of you that are watching this, okay, this is how you do it. This is how you relationship, okay? Don't do the other bullshit, all right? Don't do it. That shit don't work, okay? Don't listen to what women say. Don't listen to what women say. Okay, look at what women do. That's a hell of a lot more important, all right? And ladies, you know it's true. Okay, if a guy says, hey, I love you, does that really mean he loves you? Or is he just saying he loves you, okay? But a guy who fucking takes your hand and sweeps you off your feet, you know, and picks you up when you're down, okay, he doesn't have to tell you he loves you. You can tell, you know it because of what he's doing. Okay, and I tell that to guys too, okay? Don't listen to what she fucking says. When she says, I want a man who's sensitive and shares his feelings, get the fuck out of here, okay? If you wanted that guy, you'd be with that guy. You don't want that guy, okay? You want the guy that fucking, you know, you're not the fucking, you're not the universe doesn't revolve around you. You want the guy he doesn't place you at the center of his fucking universe, okay? You are part of his life. You are not his life. Okay, that's the kind of guy that women want, all right? And that's the kind of guy that Nick is, okay? And I got to commend him for that, you know? He's got that, you know? Now, he did have a crush when he was a little kid. He was in love, just like I did. Okay, he watched this piece of shit show called One Big Happy Family, which is basically a ripoff of the Brady Bunch / Partridge Family. It's about a bunch of kids, you know, from a blended family, you know, and they form a band and shit. The dog's in the band, whatever. I guess the popular character in the show was Francesca Lenfield's character. She played a girl named Taffy on the show, Taffy, okay? And she's the same age as our two main protagonists, Dylan McDermott and Gwen Moss, who's played by Jean Tripplehorn, who apparently she went to Juilliard, which is a very prestigious acting school, you know, dramatic school for the arts, but she sucks as an actress. In this movie she does. Maybe she's good in other things, I don't know, but she sucked in this movie. The only other thing I know her from is the fucking Ben Stiller show, where she had a very small role in that, from 1992, and Waterworld, which was a fucking abomination. That movie was just a piece of shit on so many fucking levels. Okay, but anyway, she's in this movie too, and yeah, she's terrible in this role. She really is. They try to make her into some fucking like Carol Burnett, klutzy type woman, and that is just not who she is. She cannot pull off slapstick humor. She's not the fucking Three Stooges, okay? She's not Lucille Ball, okay? But they're trying to make her that in this fucking movie, and she's just not that. That's not her skill, okay? She's just a pretty girl, okay? But anyway, so she can't find love, blah, blah, blah. She believed that her parents fell in love. Some magical story where they were at one of fucking President Kennedy's rape parties back in the early 60s. You know, the kind where fucking girls end up fucking dead in the Chappaquiddick River. Yeah, that kind of thing. Okay, that's where her mom met her dad. They fell in love, blah, blah, blah. Well, later on as an adult, she finds out that was all bullshit. Okay, her parents actually never did really love each other at all. They were faking it and they get divorced. Okay, so she can't handle it. She can't handle that her dad never loved her mom. Okay, and that her mom is now actively dating other men. That pisses her off. So she's all upset. She moves out of her parents' house because yes, she was living with her parents even though she was in her 30s. Okay, she finally got her own condominium at this condominium complex called La Fortuna, which in real life is the is the well-known El Cabrillo apartment complex, okay, in Hollywood, okay? It was built in 1928 by Cecil B. DeMille. It was built for actors, okay? No movie stars really lived there, but some several like character actors did live there at the time. It was in the same neighborhood as Rudolph Valentino's house, as Douglas Fairbanks, as Charlie Chaplin. They all had big mansions and stuff. Fatty Arbuckle, they all had big mansions in the same area at that time, back in the 1920s, the silent era, okay? So she's living there now, and she falls in love with her neighbors and stuff, particularly this old lady named Harriet who lives there. She's like in her 80s. She's senile. She keeps talking to people that aren't there. Okay, and she's got a bunch of cats. She always likes to recite stories about her youth when she was an actress, and about her ex-boyfriend that she broke up with like 65 fucking years ago. And for some reason, well, because she's old, she has dementia. She recites the Dear John speech to whatever guy is just sitting in front of her at that time. You know, the same one she gave to Irving, the guy she was in love with back like in 1925. I don't fucking know, 1931. I don't know. I know, it sounds funnier than the movie portrays it as. Okay, but that's all going on here. Gwen can't find love, so finally she decides to, they all get evicted. They get a notice of eviction because Taffy, Francesca Lanfield, played by Sarah Jessica Parker, 1 year before she did Sex and the City, okay, she owns the building. She owns the apartment complex. She sells it to an architecture firm. Okay, so the architecture firm is going to tear it down, and Nick Dawkins he's an architect. He's going to design the new apartment complex that's going to go there. Okay. Well, they all get notices of eviction. They go to the high school for a city council meeting to challenge the eviction. All the tenants are there. The councilmen do not really want to hear what the tenants have to say. Harriet makes no sense because she's having a dementia spell right there in front of everybody. This other old man that lives there, Mr. Katz, he can't get his date straight. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. So they basically told to shut the fuck up. Gwen stands up and decides to speak for all the tenants. For some reason, fucking Gawain, the fucking rock star with the fucking guitar that's surgically attached to his hip, he doesn't say shit. And Kevin, the gay guy whose dead boyfriend used to live there, he doesn't say shit. But Gwen, who just showed up, she stood up her fucking date at the Awful Truth restaurant. She just showed up there and decided to give this big fucking speech about how like we cannot destroy La Fortuna. It's a staple of Hollywood. It's a landmark. It's a historical site. It holds secrets of Hollywood. It tells stories about the American culture, and it can't be torn down, and I'm not gonna let you. Anyway, yeah, all that kind of bullshit. Yeah, okay, the feel-good moment in the movie. Okay, well, one of the councilmen, his name is John Haas. Gwen actually met him. She fell in love with him back when they were in grade school. Okay, back when he used to be known as John Hassenschmidt. He changed his name too. All the guys in this movie fucking changed their name. Okay, and so she's immediately in love with him. He's this good-looking guy. He's a councilman, whatever. Blah blah blah. She wants to fuck him so bad. He asked her out on a date. She's like, oh yes. Like the pussy's just dripping right there. Okay, so they go on their date. It's a big fucking clusterfuck. She slams into a fucking waiter, knocks over his shit. She slams her head into a fucking rotating piece of art. Okay, she gets her heel, her stiletto stuck in one of the holes in the ground of the restaurant. All this kind of bullshit lies that she's a smoker. She tells John that she's not a smoker, but she is. Okay, and what's her reward for all this bullshit? Okay, making a fool of herself at the restaurant. Her reward is John tells her, first of all, he's lactose intolerant. Okay, and then he fucking tells her, hey, listen, you know what? I'm a big fucking asshole. I'm a chauvinist. I use women for sex. All I care about is myself, and my career. I'm a councilman, but later on I'm going to become mayor, and then I'm going to become a governor, and then I'm going to become a senator, and then someday I'm going to become president, okay? That's where I'm going, okay? My career comes first, it kind of just like, comes first, understand what I mean by so I just want to use you for sex. I don't give two fucking shits about you or anybody else. All I care about is myself because I know I'm the fucking bomb. And if you don't want to have sex with me, I got plenty of other women standing right behind you in line. So get the fuck out of the way, all right? Because when it comes to me, all I really care about is getting my, I guess some women don't like to hear that. That's what he said. No, he didn't say that verbatim, okay? But that's basically what he meant. That's what he communicated to her. And she's just like, so you can't have dairy of any kind? Because she's so fucking thirsty and desperate that she will fuck a guy who's an asshole, okay? Which, let's face it, she had another guy that I think that she was screwing. His name was Bob. Bob was, I guess, a publisher or an agent or a manager for Francesca, okay? He was in charge of getting her autobiography written. Okay, her autobiography, they hired a ghostwriter. So Gwen was actually hired to be the ghostwriter for Francesca Lanfield by Bob. And Bob, of course, is heartbroken because he fucked Francesca and she fucked him over. She started fucking other guys. He's heartbroken. He cries in front of Gwen about it. But he did hire Gwen to write the autobiography. And then he asked her to go to Paris, which a platonic guy friend would never do that with a girl he's just friends with. that he's in the friend zone. He would never do that. He would never say, let's go to Paris. I think it'll bring us closer together. What did he mean by that? Does he mean that they're not close enough, which implies that they're already doing something? That's what I think happened. I think she was screwing him because she couldn't get anybody better. He's a super fucking beta male cuck. Okay, but now she's with a man. You know, a real man who just happens to be a total fucking asshole. You know, and I agree that there are guys like him. I know plenty. Guys like John Haas, okay? But they don't fucking say that to a girl they're attracted to on the first fucking date. That's the kind of shit you find out later on. After you've slept with him plenty of times. After he quits returning your calls. After, you know, he quits asking you about you. After he starts blowing you off on things that you really want to do. That's when you start to figure out, like, oh my God, this guy's a fucking asshole. It's not something he just tells you on the first fucking date right away. Okay, he's got to get some nookie first, and then you'll figure that out. Okay, and yes, straight man's point of view. Okay, well, guess what? John and Gwen are not the only ones at the Awful Truth that night. Okay, also Francesca Lenfield, yeah, she's there too. Okay, with her boyfriend Nick Dawkins. Okay, the other male lead in this movie. Okay. Now, Nick Dawkins' real name is Nicholas DeContis, okay? He's a Lithuanian. His family's from Lithuania originally. His grandparents are. Okay, but he changed his name to sound more American. He's ashamed of his family. He lies to girls about his past, all this kind of bullshit. Okay, well, he's a successful architect right now, okay? And he's on a date with Francesca Lenfield. Yes, he hooked up with the girl he had a crush on from the TV show that he watched when he was a little kid, okay? Basically like me. Like, you know, if I was to date Eve Plum, okay, now she's a lot older than me, okay? But, you know, I watched the Brady Bunch episodes when I was a little kid. I watched the reruns. Okay, and I had the hots for Jan Brady, Eve Plum, I did. Okay, so basically, it's a fantasy come true for him. Okay, the girl he was in love with on TV is now his girlfriend in real life. Okay, so he's kind of proud of himself for that, you know, and I would be too. You know, that's kind of cool to date your fucking crush, to be boning your crush in real life. That's kind of cool. Especially she was famous. Now, Francesca is basically a Lindsay Lohan, okay? She squandered pretty much all of her money on crystal meth. Okay, in and out of rehab, okay, and all that kind of shit. And they're on a date there, all right? Okay, so Nick is talking about La Fortuna, okay, the apartment complex, and Gwen has been writing these anonymous letters to the LA Times about the reasons why La Fortuna needs to be preserved and not be torn down, okay, and Nick's been reading these letters in the newspaper, okay, and he's fascinated with it, okay? Whoever wrote these letters, he's like starting to develop a crush for. He assumes it's a woman, but there's no way to know because the letters are written by an anonymous source, okay? So anyway, he's reading this and he's reading it out loud to Francesca. Francesca's getting pissed off, okay? She doesn't understand. You know, he tells her, he says, hey, you know what? Have you ever read anything, you know, that just shakes you to the core? And she's like, smoking her cigarette. Everybody smokes this movie. Everybody fucking smokes cigarettes in this movie. She's like, no. Okay. Which she said earlier, because earlier in the movie, when Gwen first met Francesca, okay, after she got hired to write her autobiography, they had a meeting, okay, what do you call it? It was the next day after Gwen had just found out that her parents, that her dad did not love her mom, okay? And even though they'd been married 34 years, he revealed to his daughter that he did not love her mother. So she tells Francesca the next day at the office, like, have you ever just gotten some information and just shook you to the core? And Francesca's there smoking a cigarette going like, no. Like that. Well, now she does it again. Nick asks her, he's like, hey, have you ever read anything that just shakes you to the core? And she's like, no. You know, just like that, okay, yeah. Okay, so he's talking about the article that was written in there, and she doesn't understand what it's like, okay, and Nick says, like, he quotes something from the article. He says, like, the building sleeps, but I cannot, okay? And Fran notices, she looks over at the restaurant, okay, and she notices that Gwen is there. Gwen's sitting at a table, okay? Now, like I said earlier, Gwen is her ghostwriter. She's supposed to be writing Francesca's autobiography, but she hasn't been doing it. Even though she got hired, she's not been doing it. Instead, she's been writing all these fucking letters to the LA Times about preserving fucking La Fortuna, all right? So she sees Gwen over there, and she gets all pissed off. She's like, that bitch! He's like, what? Nick's like, what? What are we talking about? What bitch? You know? She's like, that bitch over there, you know? That's my ghostwriter. She's supposed to be writing my book, my autobiography. I was supposed to meet her tonight and she fucking blew me off. She says she had food poisoning. Oh, quick, go there. Look. Does she look like she notices me? You know, that kind of thing. So, no, Nick turns around to look at the table where Gwen and John are sitting. This is another opportunity in the movie where the characters almost meet each other. Now they did meet when they were little kids, but they didn't say anything to each other. They separated immediately. They almost met when he dropped his model on top of her. Okay, almost hit her with it. Okay, in college, but they did not officially meet each other. And now he looks over at Gwen. Okay, to see if Gwen is looking at Francesca. So he turns around. He does not recognize her, but he did look at her. Okay, finally, this is the third time in the movie he's ever seen Gwen. Okay, the female love interest in this movie. And we're already over halfway done with the movie. This is the third time he's looked at her. Okay, not spoken to her, looked at her. Okay, he's never spoken to her. Okay, so he turns around and looks at her. Okay, and what do you call it? So he checks. Okay, but he looks at her and he says like, no, she's not looking at you, but he's like, I think I know that guy from somewhere. Okay, so he looks at both of them. He looks at John, he looks at Gwen. He does not recognize Gwen, or she's not looking in their direction, but he almost recognizes John. Okay, well, John was the bully he had when he was in grade school. He was the hall monitor that caught him playing the piano in the music room when he wasn't supposed to, and John chased him in the hallway. He was known as John Hossenschmidt back then. Okay, chased him down the hallway. Okay, and that's when he bumped into Gwen. Okay, and that's when Gwen and John first met each other, because he helped her up after Nick knocked her over. Right? Okay, but he knew John. John was like his bully when he was in elementary school, so that's where he remembers John from, but he can't picture it right now. He's like, I think I know that guy from somewhere, though, So anyway, they go back to their conversation, okay? Okay, so I know that guy from somewhere, okay? Well, Francesca gets pissed off, okay, and goes to the bathroom. She's pissed off, okay, because Nick is always talking about this anonymous writer for the LA Times that keeps writing these articles about La Fortuna, the building that his company bought and is going to demolish so that Nick can design the new apartment complex that's going to go there, okay? So he's always talking and thinking about whoever this writer is that's writing these stories in the LA Times. And she even tells us that you're thinking about her right now, aren't you? And he's like, because he is, okay? Yeah, for some reason, he's in love with Gwen's writing, okay? You're always thinking about that girl who wrote those letters, those La Fortuna letters. I'm tired of competing with her. Okay, the typical female bullshit. Okay, so Francesca gets up and goes to the bathroom. And she storms over, she struts her way over to the bathroom. She walks right by Gwen and John's table. Now, this is something that makes no fucking sense, all right? If Francesca was so afraid of Gwen noticing her at the restaurant, okay, because Gwen knowingly bullshitted her to get out of meeting her tonight, okay, then why the fuck would she walk by Gwen's table if she didn't want to be seen by Gwen? Okay, but she did. All right, and John notices her, and he looks at Gwen. He's like, "Isn't that girl Taffy from One Big Happy Family, that TV show? Isn't that her? I thought she was dead." Now that's a running joke in the movie. Okay, everybody, whenever they mention Francesca Langfield, okay, in the movie, okay, everyone always says like, "I thought she was dead." Because when the show got canceled, her career went to shit, all right? So everyone assumed that she died of a drug overdose, but she's not. She's still alive, obviously, all right? And then Gwen's like, oh, no, I was supposed to meet her tonight. I told her I got food poisoning. Oh, God, I'm writing her autobiography. He's like, you know Taffy? She's like, I canceled on her. I got to go up and apologize. I got to go to the bathroom and apologize to her. So Gwen gets up and goes to the bathroom. Okay. In the bathroom, Gwen apologizes to Fran for procrastinating on the autobiography, and then Fran tells her, "Well, you didn't hear? Bob doesn't want you on the book anymore." He's like, "You mean I'm fired?" He's like, "Yeah. What? You never been fired before?" She's like, "Well, yes, I've been fired plenty of times. It's just that it doesn't get any better, and then a third woman is in the bathroom there, and she goes up to Francesca, goes like, "Can I ask you something, please?" And Francesca goes like, she says, "Yes, that's me, and no, I'm not dead." She starts smoking a cigarette. Like I said, that's a running joke in the movie. Everyone thinks that Francesca's dead. Okay, she's like, "No, I just wanted to ask you if I could, light up a smoke in here." This is back in the era when you used to be able to smoke in the late 90s. You could still smoke in a lot of places. You can't anymore. Okay, and I used to smoke back then too, so I relate. Like I said, everybody in this movie fucking smokes. No wonder I smoked so much in the 90s, okay? I was watching shit like this. Okay, so they all three of them start smoking in the bathroom. Okay, and what do they do when you get three women together? Okay, they start gossiping. They start talking about their fucking love lives and shit, right? So Fran says like, so lady just wants to smoke, okay? Meanwhile, outside, okay, in the restaurant, John is looking at his watch like, what the fuck is taking Gwen so long? Why is she in the bathroom so fucking long, you know? And Nick is also like, And then for 1 second, Nick looks over at John and John looks over at Nick. And you can kind of tell that they kind of recognize each other, but they're not really certain from where. Okay, like I said, it's been a long time since they knew each other back when they were kids, all right? So they just look at each other like that, okay? But they're both basically sitting there by themselves at the table, okay? Meanwhile, in the bathroom, Fran talks about how she usually her MO, basically she seduces men, okay, and then until she gets the men to fall in love with her. After they fall in love with her, she gets bored, she loses interest, and she dumps them for another guy. That's her MO. That's what she does all the fucking time, okay? In between taking hits of fucking crystal meth, all right? Okay, and then Francesca says like, but this guy I'm seeing now, he sees me for who I really am. What? A drug-addicted fucking has-been whore? No, he doesn't see you for who you really are. Okay, hey, straight man's point of view, ladies. Straight man's point of view. He's never even watched the show that I was on. Yeah, boy, he lied to you, bitch. Of course he watched the fucking show. Why do you think he wanted to fuck you so bad? If you were just a nobody, you wouldn't have tried so hard. All right. She's like, do you imagine how enjoyable it was for me to hear that? To hear that he never even watched the show that I was on? That he just likes me for me? What is there to fucking like, Francesca? You're crude, you're rude, you're selfish, you're chain smoking, okay? You're intrusive, you don't give people their space, you move your shit into the fucking, he wasn't even your boyfriend, he was just your fuck buddy, and you moved all your shit in there without asking him if it was okay? Like what the, you're always checking on him, you're always being a bitch to him, you're trying to control him, you're controlling. Yes, you know, okay, and you've had more bodies than fucking Hitler. What the fuck is there to love about you? You were on a TV show some 20 fucking years ago, 25 years ago. You were on a fucking popular TV show. Okay, well you're not that little girl anymore. All right, like what the fuck? You're out of rehab, but you're not even a fucking decent person. You're still this you brag. You're always bragging about how you like to bend men to your will. Like, what the fuck kind of a person is that? That's a narcissist. What the fuck is there to love about you, Fran? What? Nothing. I'm not saying Nick's any better. In his own way, he's also a narcissist, okay? But goddamn it, at least he's not going around bragging about how fucking great he is to everybody. Jesus Christ. Anyway, she's like, he never even watched the show. You know, imagine how enjoyable that was to hear. Men have always treated me like I'm taffy. The only problem is, I think he's in love with someone else. Okay, all three. His problem is that and then all three say it at the same time, he's emotionally unavailable. Bitch, get the fuck out of here with that noise. Now, guys, don't ever watch rom-coms to get advice on how to fucking court women, how to treat women. Don't ever watch rom-coms. They're not going to tell you the fucking truth. But women don't even fucking know what they like, okay? They only know what they don't like. All right, this shit does not fucking work. I know I've tried it. It does not fucking work. Don't be that attentive, sensitive, empathetic boyfriend. Don't fucking be that. You will get fucking cheated on so fucking fast it'll make your head spin. Okay, that's not what turns women on. Okay, what turns women on is being a little bit stoic. Not completely, but enough stoicism that she understands that you communicate to her that you can handle stress. Okay, you can be her rock. Okay? Don't be this wishy-washy fucking guy who's just spouting his feelings all the fucking time and reciting poetry and explaining to her how much he loves her, all the fucking different ways that he loves her. Get the fuck out of here. That shit does not fucking work in real life. That might work in the fucking sitcoms, okay? It does not work in fucking real life. Okay, what works in real life is exactly what Nick is doing. I mean, look at all the drama that he's putting Francesca through. Okay, this is what keeps women attracted to you, the drama. Okay, the does he, doesn't he. Okay, as long as she's guessing, as long as she's not 100% sure, she's gonna try harder, she's gonna try to figure you out. The point is she's interested in you. Once a woman loses interest in you, there's no more romance. There's no more fucking sexual attraction. There's nothing. You see what I mean? He's doing everything that Francesca just fucking said she does to guys. Once men fall in love with me, I lose interest in them. Well, he makes sure that she never knows that he's in love with her. Thereby, she maintains interest in him. You see? This shit that she's complaining about is exactly the stuff that she said turned her off in the previous sentence. Guys, don't look at this shit and fucking think this is gonna help you. It's not. It's not. Like I said, look at what she does, not what she says. Okay? She just complained that he's emotionally unavailable and that hurts her feelings. Okay? But if he was emotionally available, he'd be just like fucking Bob in this movie. The guy's fucking crying his pussy out in front of fucking Gwen because Francesca dumped him. I'm moving on. Yeah, that fucking pussy. Okay, that's a guy who's emotionally available. Okay, and you see how well he's doing. Okay, even Gwen, who can't get a guy, even Gwen is not attracted to him. Okay, so come on, guys. Come on, guys. No, be emotionally unavailable. Okay, you never fucking share all your fucking heart to a woman. Okay, that turns them off. That gets a pussy drier than fucking sandpaper. Okay, anyway, moving right along. All right. So Fran says, you know, his emotions require voicemail. He's an extremely controlling person. Yeah, Francesca said that. She said that Nick is an extremely controlling person. The same woman that also said in this movie, I enjoy bending men to my will. Yeah, who said it like that too. She's complaining that Nick's emotionally controlling. Get the fuck out. No, the problem is he's not controlling. He's not emotionally controlling, Francesca. That's not his problem. He's not that way at all. The problem is that you can't control him. That's the problem. But no chick flick is gonna fucking say that, okay? Yeah. You women love that word controlling. You know, if you say, hey girl, hey honey, me and the girlfriends, we want to go spend the weekend in Cabo, just me and the girls, and we're going to go nightclubbing and drinking and shit like that, you know, and, you know, I might fuck around on you or something, I don't know, but I'll try not to, okay? All right, is that okay with you? No, it's not. You're my wife. I don't want you out there partying with your girlfriends, getting drunk, and sleeping with other men. Well, you're so controlling. Oh, God. You see what I mean? Yeah. Anyway, so the real problem is here that Nick lets Francesca do whatever the fuck she wants. He's not controlling at all. Okay? The problem is that what she wants is to control him. He won't let her. You know? Like she basically expected him to fucking leave town with her for the holidays. He said, no, I'm staying here. I want to stay in LA. You know? I just want to spend Christmas my own way. And she got pissed off at him that he wouldn't go with her to leave town for the holidays because she refuses to stay in LA for the holidays. Yeah. See, she can't control him. That turns her on. Okay? That actually turns her on. That she can't control him. Okay? But she ain't gonna say that in the fucking bathroom, right? Okay? You know, so anyway. Francesca goes, I think he's falling in love with someone else, okay? And she starts crying, okay? And Gwen's like, oh, sweetheart, that's crazy. He's just an idiot, then. He's just an idiot if he's in love with somebody else. Francesca, he's crazy, not you. He's crazy. You're not some selfish, narcissistic, unbelievable bitch. He's the asshole. Yeah. Now, she called him an idiot because he might be in love with another woman, okay? Now, after all this shit, okay, that Francesca just said, he's controlling, he's emotionally unavailable, you know, he's a narcissist, he keeps his emotions on voicemail. After all that shit that she said about Nick, okay, and she's still with him, Gwen says that he's the idiot. Now, I know she's trying to cheer her up and all that stuff, okay? You know, girl power, you know, we're all there for each other, bull fucking shit. When it comes to men, women are usually not there for each other. Now they're competing for the same guy, all right? No. After all that fucking shit, okay, we already know Nick is not a bad person, but he does exhibit asshole qualities that you could call. Even I can call him out on that. He lies to women. He lies about his past, you know. He uses his influence to get things that he wants, you know, like for example, getting in the restaurant because he designed it. You know, that's one of the pitches he uses to get girls to sleep with him. Hey, I designed that restaurant. The one where Ice Cube goes to? Yeah, I designed it. I can get us in. You know, he uses that to get laid, okay? Which, yeah, these are kind of asshole qualities that he has, okay? But he's not an evil person, okay? He's just emotionally disconnected, okay? And women are turned on by that in real life. Not in this movie, but in real life, women are turned, well, even in this movie, they're just not gonna point it out, okay? Women get turned on by that, by a guy who has confidence, a guy who's not gonna fucking cry, okay, when shit goes wrong. It's a guy who believes in himself, okay? Women are turned on to that. Okay, they really are, okay? Now, if a woman is trying to control a guy and he doesn't want to show his emotions, okay, then that's not him being controlling. That's you being controlling and not getting what you want and throwing a fucking tantrum. Okay, that's what that is. Okay, if he acted that way, if he acted the way that the Francesca's acting, okay, right now, okay, she wouldn't be attracted to him. Okay, that's the truth. That's the truth, guys. She would not be attracted to him if he acted the way she does. Absolutely not. He doesn't brag about manipulating women. He just does it. You see what I mean? You know, so anyway, you know, and Francesca already knows this about him. She already knows that he's a narcissistic, low-key narcissist, okay, that he has full self-confidence, that he fucks a lot of women, okay, that she already knows all this about him, okay? But she's still in love with him. Who's the idiot here? I tell you this, it's not Nick. It's not Nick, okay? If Francesca were to leave Nick, he would get over it pretty quick, okay? If Nick were to leave Francesca, she would fucking probably relapse and start doing crystal meth again, all right? Okay, all right, I'm gonna stop my review right here, but I'll be back shortly to continue my review of Till There Was You. I thank you very much for watching this long, and I will see you soon on the next one.